So, introduce yourself.
Peace and blessings, beautiful people out there. My name is Hakeem 7X, the poet, community activist, community organizer, entrepreneur, you name it.
Okay.
Active.
Okay.
My name is Marquise Jones, community activist, business owner.
I don't think you need too much of an introduction. Everybody know who you is, man. Everybody know who you is too, though. You know, pioneers, legends in the streets. So, how did y'all two meet?
I knew, I heard of Mark Legend. Before I met him, I used to hear about Marquise. His name used to ring bells so heavy. And I never met him. His name was like a ghost, Marquise. It was so heavy up there with names that's real heavy. And when I got a chance to meet him in prison, we was at Western. We was at Western together, and you know, we from the same neighborhood, you know. So we clicked, we bonded, and from there, you know, we made a vow to each other up there, right? Because he's one of the most beautiful brothers I've ever met in my life, man. He taught me so much, and one thing he did teach me, and he said, don't talk about nobody if you can't see it in front of their face. He don't play that. He wrote shit like that. Don't talk about nobody right behind their back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're not gonna say it right here, don't even say he ain't with them. Yeah. And from there, I knew he was a beautiful brother. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I knew from there that little right there, I fell in love with him. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of brothers ain't like that. They backbite and people talking. And once he said that, I knew he wasn't that type of brother. I knew he was a brother that you can trust, that you can rock with from ding to dawn. Yeah. And we also made a vow to each other that we know that whoever get the bag first, we gonna bring the other one on. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we got a lot of stuff going on. You see what I'm saying? We just, you know, stay tuned in and to be supportive of what we got going on. It's like how we gonna support y'all.
Yeah. Tough, my brother, like beyond. I can't express to you how much love I got for him. It's like God.
So besides y'all being in prison together, you know, how, you know, what's that transition from prison to coming home on the street, you know?
But no, we gotta go back to prison though.
Okay.
Go back to the streets.
Okay.
Me and Mark, like, Mark, he husky down, you see what I'm saying? He must have been there doing some jaws. Like, he was always little dudes by stature, you see what I'm saying? But we used to be in the gym with the gloves trying to fight the biggest and baddest dudes from North Philly, from South Philly. They used to tell me and Mark, like, y'all crazy. They like, y'all crazy. Y'all always want to fight the biggest and baddest. Because if you ain't fight the biggest and baddest, then we don't want to fight nobody that we think we can. We always got the same type of personality. You see what I'm saying? Like we giant killers. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we kind of bonded too. But we both was giant killers, and we like that challenge. You see what I'm saying? You the biggest and the baddest. Let's go. We ain't backing down from nobody. The only person we afraid of is ourselves.
Yeah, we was up there. A lot of dudes used to like to hit the pads, just keep hitting the pads, hitting the pads all the time and all that. Hitting the heavyweight bag. We used to like
bring the gloves to him.
Yeah.
Gloves to him. He's on. We bring the gloves to him. A lot of times I want the gloves to do. They be like, "You too small. I don't want to fight you. You too small." And I say the bigger. Then sometimes they might give me a chance. Sometimes they don't. But once they give me a chance, they be like, "Oh, you wouldn't even show down. I should have been gave you a chance. I've been trying to tell you the whole time. This is not like I show down." Yeah, that's how I feel, yeah.
But what I love about Tuff is, like, since Tuff, even in jail, he was educating himself the whole time he was down. Since he's a young boy, he's never, even though he hold it down, he don't play around and all that type of shit. He ain't going for no nut shit. But he always trying to educate himself. And then he came home and stayed on the same course that he was on when he was locked up. He ain't changed courses. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he's one of the most loyal. That's my brother right there. That's my guy. I can't express it no more than that.
So, since y'all been home, what has been the biggest, the biggest thing that might have you like, whoa, what happened to the streets? Like,
you want to go first? Go ahead. I did 16 years, and when everybody was like, "Damn, what was your biggest cultural shock? What's your biggest cultural shock?" And my biggest cultural shock was when I came home. I realized that the world went crazy. I realized that even people I personally, I'll be like, everybody shot out. Everybody shot out, from the kids to the devils, to the juveniles, to the grave, and I'm like, I thought it was something that was in prison, that people in prison locked behind the walls, and I'm like, everybody shot out their head. But when I came out here, everybody was shot out our head because we still in prison out this show. It's just a bigger prison. You see what I'm saying? So that was my biggest culture shock to realize that the world went crazy.
Yeah, you got a point there.
And what was yours, man?
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying, because like our people is it's a lot of trauma going around in the hood. You know what I mean? People like traumatized. You know what I mean? So it's bad. It ain't a lot of. When I was coming up, it was like love spread. It was always hustling. There was always some stuff going on, but it was like love being spread throughout that. Now you rarely see the love like that. They twist, like I said again, you know what I mean? When I was coming up, there was love out in the air. You could feel it. You know what I mean? There was love amongst our people. You could feel it, no matter what else was going on. Now you really can't feel the love out here at all. You know what I mean? Yeah, motherfuckers driving this, driving that, probably getting to the bag and all that, but you don't feel the love like that out here.
Why is that, you think?
I don't know, I think people start getting more, so much about trying to be seen, trying to be fly, trying to get money, that, you know what I mean, kind of watered, kind of made, you know what I mean? Like now, it's more, it's more, people think that you can be a sucker and get money. It ain't, the number one thing ain't for people to be thorough, it's to be fly or get money. To be honest with you, it's crazy because to the day, you know, motherfucker might say I'm this, I'm that, whatever the case may be or whatever. My joint, one thing I claim to be, I don't claim nothing else, I claim to be one of the thoroughless motherfuckers in the city. And that's like my number one joint. All that other shit, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like long as I'm that, then that's what I want to be. That's my claim to fame. So with that, you could be all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. So imagine everybody in the hood right now was trying to be thorough and to some degree, like talk to themselves about doing sucker shit, check themselves. We all was running around trying to be thorough, and we be on like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? If that was your most important thing, because
that's why I say instead of trying to be thorough, because that joint is watered down now. Why don't we just challenge ourselves to be our best selves? Because I wrote a Black Man's Oath, and that's what it's called. It's called Challenge Ourselves to Be Our Best Selves Initiative. Right. The Black Man's Oath. As of today, I promise to live my life as a respectful, humble person. Because, you know, everything we did, you know, you will always be a better person than you was yesterday. You see what I'm saying? And it's not like you said, it's not striving to be thorough or this and this and that. Just striving to be yourself and be content with who you are. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. Everybody want to be somebody else that you're not.
No, and that's what I mean by that.
And then sometimes people get the bad, and then sometimes the money changes. Like me, I'm gonna be the same person whether I got $1 million or whether I got $1. I'm always gonna be the same person. I'm gonna be the same person whether if I lost my mind. If, you know what I'm saying? I'm still keep the same energy. I'm not gonna be like, no, not right now. Because one thing about me, I keep the same face. I never switch my face up. Right. And it's hard for me to be dealing with people who switch their face up. Because you know you switch your face up a lot. Like how am I gonna know how to deal with you? Exactly. So I'll be off of them. But I don't want people think that you be mad and like you got some ill will against them. No, I got no ill will. I wish you the best. But being though, you know, people be changing their face up too much, it gives me too much mental energy trying to figure it out. Right. So before I try to figure it out, I'd rather just keep it pushing and wish you the best. Right. And a lot of times people, when I be keeping it pushing, people think I got some ill will towards them, but it's not no ill will towards you. Right. It's just that I'm sucker ducking. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. And stay tuned to the clothing line, sucker ducking season 365. That means we doing sucker ducking season all year round. When is sucker ducking season? 365 days a year. So that's the new clothing line coming through me and my homie Marquise. I'm gonna partner up with this drawing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like sucker ducking season 365.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever endeavors or business plans, you know, y'all have going on.
Like I think that could be a nice show to start off with. That's sucker ducking season.
I like that. You just can't
No, I had it for a little bit. The tuck, you had I had it the tuck. Somebody tried to steal it from me, but he ain't go all the way with it. He tried to take it from me, but I grind him up for it. Like, yo, you took my stuff, boom, boom. He like, I said, that didn't come to you no dream. I told you that when you was drunk, but you supposed to do it for me because he got the machine. He wake up and do it one day to my that's him. I grind, I'm like, yo, keep throwing my piece, man. He's like, man, that came to me. No, you was drunk, but I told you to make it for me, yo. Give me my piece then. That's me. You hear me?
So, okay, what about? All right, y'all understand. I mean, we all three of us understand what's going on out here. The nature of Philly, the state is in, the rise of murders, the drill music, all that. What's some of y'all take on that? Like, how can some of these young bulls get out of that mind frame?
I was just talking at a black man's conference earlier today. And when you think about the state of the black youth, it seems like now, you remember back in the day we did it for real, like we go over blocks and money and stuff like that. You know, now it's over like Instagram posts and disses, and these young boys are too sensitive, too emotional. They cowards. They let their pride get away, and furthermore, a lot of it is like they coming right off the video games and going right into the killing stuff. The video games is traumatizing. The drill music is brainwashing. Like a lot of these young boys, they look up to King Von. That's the hero. The heroes is the rappers. They got body counts. That's what they want to be. So that's what they doing. They trying to look up to the heroes now. You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole new different thing now. We in a whole new different era. Now, you know what I'm saying? These young boys come right off the video games and they just pop it. Right off the video games to the street stuff. They ain't even sold a drug. They ain't even, never even stole out of a store. Never even did nothing. Never even hooked the lady bag of bags. Never even hustled the legal way or the illegal way. But how's they get these guns though? That's the whole thing I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's like I read this book from, I think, Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow. You read it? Yeah. Like that's like basically the strongest way I can explain to somebody what's really going on out here. It's like a trap. It ain't all just it's set up this way for motherfuckers to get caught up in a trap. And she can break it down. She broke it down more clearly than anybody else seen break it down. You read it?
It's designed this way. That's why I wouldn't.
It's designed this way. It ain't really. You know what I mean? It's like a big ass set. It's like a trap. You know what I mean? And if you ain't smart enough not to go for the trap, then you gonna end up going for the trap. Like I went for the trap, Tuffy went for the trap. So it's like set up this way for people to kind of, you know what I mean? Right. Make some of the choices that they make.
Just like what he's saying, it's just like how you see people sit there and play chess.
Yeah.
You got people called social scientists. Right. They sit in boardrooms and they dictate human behavior and trends and social norms and this and that. They sit there and they plan this stuff like they play chess with human lives. That's why from niggas to guys, Brother I Kill in the book, you got the Ku Klux Klan band and with the Crip and the Blood shooting each other on the string. We only puppets. Because they the puppet masters. We just puppets of this stuff here. You see what I'm saying? They pulling our strings. You see what I'm saying? We gotta cut the strings and get loose.
Yeah, that's why. Basically, that's what I'm saying. When you go back to when he's saying that that's what you gotta do out here. It's like you gotta move around all type of traps and time bombs, pitfalls, and it ain't just it's our people. And it's traps all throughout society. So you gotta be smart out this job.
So I agree with both of y'all, but I think what's missing also, and I don't know, maybe you agree, might disagree, the both parents coming up in the home with mom and dad. You think that may play a part in it somewhere? Because a lot of homes is broken, and they've been broken since the 80s. But from the 80s to now, the transition is way much different. So what's your take on that?
Well, I have in our projects, Mill Creek projects, there was a whole bunch of us. And out of all my little homies, only one of us had the mom and the father in the house, though, you hear me? And it was like, ain't none that had a mom and a father in the house, but just one of our homies out of all of us used to hang together. But I done seen it and heard it from other people who had both parents still wind up doing something that
and vice versa.
And vice versa. So it's kind of like you can't really say
right.
it like that. It all depends on.
Back in the day,
it really all that. In the end of the day, it really all depends on that child. Because I be seeing people, good parents parent their child and stuff like that. They still want to be over here doing the dick, doing the goofy stuff. You see what I'm saying? So that's the kind of hard joint to answer. To give you like an honest answer, because it's tricky. Because I done seen a crackhead that had daughters, and their daughters turned out to be lawyers and doctors, and they never turned out to be that. So, and I done seen lawyers and doctors that had daughters that turned out to be crackheads. So you see what I'm saying? So you can never really predict that. I think it's all on the child with that, and how strong that child mind is, and how they gonna get influenced by the negative stuff, or they gonna be influenced by the positive stuff in society. So it all depends on that child and how strong that child mind is when they make the choices and consequences.
Yeah, I agree with Tuff. I don't think that two-parent household really is you're gonna be successful or you ain't, because at one point the community used to raise you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
You have people always on your block that was like torture a lot. You know what I mean? So you can get some structure from all over the place. So I can't say that.
And and to add to that, right? With me, I used to be mad at him because he always grind me up, and then he gave me some good piece of wisdom. I want to share his wisdom too, because then I don't get mad when he grind me up no more. Because he said, what you just said. He said he's only 5% of him. He said the other 95% of him is everybody that he's seen and boom, 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 and made himself up. So he said, you get mad at me. He said, you ain't mad at 5% of me. He said, I ain't even worried about that. He said, you ain't not mad at the old. He said, you mad at your dad, you mad at Dick, you mad at. He started naming everybody, and like I said, like the village. You said, everybody you learn something from, that's who make up you. You see what I'm saying? So that was right on point right there. Because it used to take a village. Now you don't see that no more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These youngsters ain't trying to learn from nothing. But the video games and these rappers right there, these King Vines and all these goofy rappers, this drill music, this stuff like this. I hate this drill music.
That's why I said to go back to Michelle Alexander saying it's a trap. Because even when I got locked up, and people from my generation got locked up and all that, it really left it bad for the people that, when Tuff and us got locked up, it really left it bad for the young bulls and all that, because they ain't really had no real good, solid old heads to really, you know what I mean, get some game from. Because one thing about this dudes like us, he wrote this drink called The Gangster and the Gentleman. Bro, this got to be the most heaviest motherfucking piece of literature I ever read in my life. I go by this. I go by this shit he wrote, bro. It's called The Gangster and the Gentleman. It's heavy.
You gotta get that joint back. It's up there sometimes. Because he gave me a copy. I let Richard Wallace see that joint, and he ain't never seen that joint.
This is called The Gangster and the Gentleman. He wrote it when he was locked up. It's like, to be honest with you, I almost look at it like it's my oath to this. I read that joint over and over again. Tell me I'm always talking about it. I carried that joint for like 10, 15 years.
You ever get it published?
I don't know where it's at. I don't got it no more, but it's up top. Marquise had the only, but he ain't the only copy. It's up there. A lot of people when I talk to me like, he still got that joint. He still got it. And you know, it's circulating up there too, though. So we definitely gotta get that joint. We gotta share that with the streets, though. Like in the pamphlet, get that joint out there, yo.
It talks about how people think a gangster is one thing, but it talks about, it's called The Gangster and the Gentleman, and it talks about all the good things that those who consider gangster and gentlemen to do, not all the bad things, all the good things that they're supposed to do. The honor, the integrity. You know what I mean? That's what it's talking about.
Like taking care of your kid. You can say that's gangster instead of
blowing
somebody's head off.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's not gangster. Taking care of your kids is gangster. You want to use the gangster
word. They don't talk about, putting a turban on your head or being all loud and obnoxious. You know what I mean? They talk about having manners, discipline, respect for your community, love for your people. Talk about things like that. That's what they consider. It's considered that against the gentleman. Protecting your people.
Because there's a shortage of that's happening as far as though the women, the kids being protected. You know, at one point it was always, no matter the circumstances, no women, no kids are ever supposed to be harmed. And it's at a high rate right now, you know. And what's the solution?
I ain't front. At one point, for some reason, I thought in my mind that I could get 5 or 10 maybe 10 dudes from around the city, and we could just really get together and be like, man, get all the young boys together and be like, yo, cool the fuck out, talk to them in a big ass arena, and make them see that, you know, at the end of the day, it ain't gonna be worth it. But now, sometimes I be looking at this shit like, damn, this shit out of control. So I really don't even know the solution to this shit now. It just seems like way out of control. What you think?
No, I got quoted to what you didn't answer what you were saying. I got can you word up really good?
Basically, the women, the kids, everybody, you know, at one point, it was always known, no women, no kids are, under no circumstances are supposed to be harmed. And now you turn on the news, it's just happening at a high rate. I'm talking about rapidly. What's the solution?
It's not gonna be no solution because it's cowardice at the end of the day. How do you make cowards tough? We can be chasing them, beat on them, and make them tougher. They already cowards already. They hide behind guns. So how do we find the cowards that's hiding behind these guns to make them tougher so they don't feel like they gotta? Because the reason why I say they cowards because back in the day when you want somebody, you can get close to them. Now, like when I seen people out there back in the day, if I was into that type of stuff, I seen crowds. I'm like, man, I'm not shooting no innocent people.
Yeah,
I'm not doing nothing like that. No, if I catch you, I can get closer to you than this. Right. They be so desperate, so scared. They see somebody start shooting in crowds like that's how you gonna get strikes for shooting in the crowd, shooting all a long way with all these kids in the playgrounds. Like how do you really feel when you look yourself in the mirror and do some coward shit like that? Like how do y'all really feel when y'all do coward shit like that? Shooting kids and women, like my friend Texas got shot innocent by in the 46th Street playground by some young boys shooting at each other in a crossfire. You see what I'm saying? But to further add to that, why a lot of these young girls are getting killed, because a lot of these young girls are egging on these young boys to do a lot of goofy stuff too. You see what I'm saying? Since the beginning of time, women has been behind a lot of homicides. Since the beginning of time, it's been women behind wars. A lot of these young girls telling their brothers and their cousins such and such said something goofy, such and such said something goofy. You see what I'm saying? They might got their feelings hurt, but such and such don't want to mess with them no more. They calling their brothers with you see what I'm saying, for stuff like that. These young girls are so emotional, and they calling their emotional brothers and their emotional cousins that act just like them. So all we got is a whole bunch of females out here with guns. Yes, you see what I'm saying? Because they act just like the females. These females with guns, they all act like they girls. So imagine if girls are running here with guns. Imagine if girls had guns. How many homicides would it be? If a lot of girls are running around like, it would be way more shootings than it is men shootings because they act off emotions more. But that's the same thing the men are doing now. They are very emotional. They take what their cousins say. Don't even try to be like, no, you probably lying. You go such hit. They be lying. And a lot of them young boys got life behind these young girls. And when you ask them, they locked up where they can't even tell you. It wasn't about no corners. It wasn't about no money. It wasn't about no stick-ups. It was about nothing. It was about a female. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's what happened. These young girls getting dudes lined up, they whispering too much, and they behind a lot of this stuff. Because they influence these young boys. And that's why they getting ran down on. Because they start a lot of stuff in the background.
What's your take on it, Mark? You agree?
Yeah, you made some good points. I do think the quality of men has dropped a lot. I do think the quality of men has dropped a lot. And again, the hardest thing in the world to do is get some suckers to understand where you're coming from. I mean, that's why I always use the word thorough, because you can't get those suckers to understand some thorough shit, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem for a while.